Welcome to Nasdaq TradeTalks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. We're coming to you live from Barcelona at SmartCon 2023 by Chainlink. Joining me for this segment, we have Patrick Collins, co-founder and CEO of Cyfrin. It's great to have you with us, Patrick. Welcome to TradeTalks.
Great. Thanks for having me.
You got it. Tell us about Cyfrin. Where do you fit within this ecosystem?
Yeah, absolutely. So as a lot of people know, the smart contract space is a space where you deploy immutable code, which means the code that you deploy, that's what's it. It's going to be that way forever. So if you do that, obviously you should get it right the first time. Otherwise, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. You're going to be exploitable to hacks. So Cyfrin, we are a smart contract security and auditing firm. We go through code bases, make sure the code is secure. We also do a lot of educational initiatives. We have a site called web3education.dev where we teach people how to get into this space, become developers, become security researchers. We also run platforms like Solidit, which teaches auditors and security researchers to be better. And we also recently launched a platform called CodeHawks, which is a competitive audits platform, which is also a way to keep smart contracts secure. So we're all about security in Web3.
So it's interesting, from my understanding, you've taught a lot of people here at this conference how to code. How have you seen that evolve, and what does it take to be successful in this space?
Yeah, so to be successful in this space, for me, you really want to be thinking about, okay, well, what's the value add of Web3? I think we as an industry, we don't do a good enough job saying, okay, what is the value add of Web3? Mm-hmm. The value add is these trust minimized agreements. It's this transparency, it's this permissionlessness. And a lot of people see a lot of numbers, they see ICOs, they go, oh, okay, cool, I'm gonna launch a coin, I'm gonna make a bunch of money. And that's incredibly short-sighted, and in the long run, it doesn't work out, and I would argue is actually a huge detriment to what we're doing. Yeah. So to be successful in Web3 as a developer, you want to think of, okay, what is a problem that Web3 can solve? And there are a ton of them, especially in finance. And then how can I build something really cool, build a phenomenal project to do that? And then check out some of my courses if you're looking to learn a lot of the coding languages like Solidity, Viper, to build these protocols and build these phenomenal services. So just keep going and solve problems.
It's so interesting that you bring that up, because to your point, there's a rush to get in there and make quick money. But you know, what is the problem? What are we looking to solve? Why are we even having this conversation? I think that's one of the challenges, that perhaps the integration of these Web3 technologies into traditional finance, that is the challenge, security. I don't think it's understood well enough. And you know, what are we looking to do here? Why isn't what we currently have now working? You know, what's the point of integrating Web3? And I think it comes back to security.
So what's the question? Like, what is blocking the?
Right, and I would think that security is part of that, because it's largely misunderstood. Yeah,
so I would argue that's probably one of the biggest blockers to adoption in Web3, period, right? So let me give you some statistics. Mm-hmm. Last year, 2022, $3.8 billion was stolen out of Web3, $3.1 billion directly out of DeFi, decentralized finance. Do I need to define DeFi, or do they?
Yeah, we got that.
Okay, cool. All right, so $3.1 billion out of DeFi, out of a $40 billion TVL, that's around 7% of all DeFi TVL stolen. That's like you walking into a bank. Imagine DeFi is a bank, and you walk into the bank and you go, hey, I would like to put my money in here. The bank teller goes, great. By the way, there's a 1 in 20 chance that next year your money is gone. Are you putting money in that bank, Jill? Absolutely not. It doesn't make any sense, right? So we have this better technology, we have this more accountable, this fair, this better technology that will make a better future, but yet we have this huge blocker where, you know, your grandpas, your people who are not technically savvy can invest because there's this 7% hack rate, or the 6%, or whatever the number is. So it's I forget what the original question was, but it's a major stopper.
Right, security
is a major stopper, and we need to fix it. And if we want to bring retail on, if we want to say, here is this better technology, it needs to be fixed. Otherwise, what are we doing?
Right. Well, I mean, even as an end user, I don't want to say I don't care, but I just want I go to my bank and it works, right? And I feel like if we're going to integrate Web3 into it, or adopt, you know,
well, kind of works, right? There's a lot of issues. The reason we're doing this, there's a lot of issues where it doesn't work.
I do my banking on my phone, and it happens. I don't care how it gets done; it just happens. And I feel like that is the kind of experience that, especially on the consumer side, that they want to see. They want it seamless. They want it safe. How it gets done.
Yeah, exactly. The experience needs to be such that I can just use it and it'll work, and I will have my money next year. It's not going to evaporate. It's not going to leave me, although we have seen that in the Web2 space with a lot of the banking issues recently. Right. But we have the technology for all those banking issues that happened, especially in the past year, to not happen in Web3. And the only blocker to make it so is, in my opinion, security. And obviously, Oracles are a big piece, which is
Right.
why we're here at SmartCon. Chainlink is a phenomenal service because of security, because they allow you to get important pricing information, automation, all these amazing tools in a secure fashion. Which is a big reason why I'm pumped that in here at Chainlink.
Are you
at
seeing
SmartCon.
any improvement in the industry with stepping up
yes.
security? I mean, even with Cyfrin.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. So security researchers are getting better. They're learning quicker. We have a ton of tools and platforms, like CodeHawks, like Code4Arena, that enables smart contract researchers to get in, make their first dollar, get confidence really quickly. We're seeing protocols adopt more and more modern best practices, which is phenomenal. A lot of historical attacks that used to plague us don't happen as often. So we've seen a ton of progress, but we need a lot more.
Right.
We need a lot more so that we have that experience that you're talking about where, hey, I can just put my money in DeFi and it just kind of like works. And you don't really need to know, hey, like, can this be exploitable? We're not there yet. We're getting there. We're getting better. It's going to happen. It's inevitable to happen. And then it will be even phenomenally better than any of the centralized banking issues that we have today.
Let's end it on a positive note.
All
Thanks
right,
for the
great.
insight, Patrick, and thanks for joining me in Barcelona. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.